Legion side, Pebbles and N4 against that Thunderbringer. Phoebe playing that Thunderbringer, going to have to be really, really careful in terms of avoiding the Pebbles combo and also just not letting N4 harass him out of lane, because one of Thunderbringer's big things is abusing his rune control and spamming that lightning bolt to really just put the pressure onto the enemy. Obviously not really an option against someone like N4 who can just heal indefinitely. So I mean, Root, what do you make of the lanes overall? And actually on the bottom lane,
Torture has quite a long range. Oh yeah.
Action on the bottom lane. Engineer going to eat that charge from Rampage. No stun on Torture at level 1, picking up Agonizing Bonds instead. So not actually going to be a kill there, but Engineer taking a lot of damage from this new Rampage and actually going to charge him. Rampage, however, no longer has Magic Community on his charge. However, Witchlair misses the stun, and Fresh Blood playing that Torturer going to pick up the kill there. Sloppy play from Witchlair there, missing that stun, and that's cost them the Bloodlust kill. So huge error there by who is it playing it? I don't know his name. Snaking from HOC, so a clan we've never heard of and a player we've never heard of, but making that mistake there, giving up the Bloodlust, and now actually retaliate reaction onto that Rampage. However, Engineer doesn't have his keg, and no real likelihood of coming forward. But now Torturer following up onto Witchlair, nothing going to happen here. Both sides pretty bruised and battered at this point, and yeah, as you say, Root, pretty close indeed. Both sides just going to back off there rather than risk overcommitting. Actually seeing Zaku departing from the build we saw Hani taking center mid with. Torturer trying to put up, but eating that stun from Engineer, cancelling that. Good job by him. But yeah, I mean, I think it was Bash that Hani took first playing that Rampage, so interesting diversion there. He's giving up some of his last hitting power in lane, some of his harassing power in lane, since it essentially works as a melee orb in some respects, and in return going for that burst killing power. But that's definitely a decision that's worked out for him. I mean, I don't know what you think, but certainly if you reckon you can get a Bloodlust out of it, that's got to be worth going for.
Yeah, and also he has the devil damage rune bottom if he really needs, if he's having trouble.
Actually, in the middle lane now, Forsaken Archer's going to go onto that Plague Rider going very low, but ever since the nerf to Crippling Volley, it no longer has the same duration, and that's really showing. Plague Rider there on 17 HP, however, able to escape the skeletons in time, and that Forsaken Archer nerf really showing there. I don't believe that Plague Rider, being played by, who is it, Nisma? Again, nobody I've heard of, would have escaped there had Forsaken Archer's Crippling Volley not been nerfed. However, in its current state, definitely been cut into a bit, and I think, again, had he been able to pick up that kill 1v2, that would really have helped him, just letting him harass Kronos out of lane a bit, catch up on some farm, get ahead on levels. As it is, he's just going to have to struggle in there. Hasn't even forced Plague Rider back to the fountain. At this point, Root, 3-minute mark, anything you'd really like to highlight?
Not really. Well, Torture, I think, should give this bottom lane a decently hard time, even though they're up against 2 ranged, because Torture has such a long ranged auto attack.
Actually, in the top lane now, Pebbles and N4 are going to put a combo out onto the Phoebe, playing that Thunderbringer, and he's going to go straight down there. Good play by N4 there, baiting Phoebe, and then Pebbles just coming in to steal that kill with his combo. N4 pod going down, being ready to put out the extra damage, but really not needed, and Phoebe having a bit of a problem here in this top lane. Actually, he's not doing well at all. He's 9-0, which is pretty much representative. He's been able to get some creep kills using that chain lightning spam, however absolutely no denies, hasn't been able to really get near the creeps, and N4 and Pebbles doing a great job there, and that is unfortunately for the Hellborn really the price they pay for the dual lane mid, which isn't actually working too well, to be honest. I mean, off the Great's not doing brilliantly on Forsaken Archer, but he hasn't died yet, hasn't given up that Bloodlust mid, and Rexy playing that Chrono is only 185 gold per minute, so it's shutting down Forsaken Archer in that mid lane, but it's not really working to actually give Kronos the farm he would like to be getting off it. And now Rampage going to charge in this bottom lane, but going to abort the charge before he goes in, quite sensibly too. Torturer seeing the danger, Witchslayer seeing the danger, backing off to the tower, and well, had Rampage gone in there, would have been pretty much suicidal, I think. But yeah, sorry, I did interrupt you. Where were you before?
I was going to just say that Pebbles has quite a good early farm, which is something that you do not want. If you he not only got that kill, but his creep score, he's got 27, and the next in line is 14. So that's not where you want to have an enemy Pebbles.
Absolutely. I mean, if they let Pebbles get that early farm, if he can pick up an early portal key, he can be an absolutely brutal ganker, especially with the fragile heroes we've got on this Hellborn side. Thunderbringer basically everyone, to be honest. I mean, Chronos less so because he's got Rewind, which he doesn't necessarily skill up early game, and a Blink to get out of it, but nonetheless, a lot of fragile heroes on this Hellborn side. Pebbles could cause a great problem for them. Meanwhile, though, first kill for the Hellborn side, fresh pro, diving the tower for no terribly good reason, probably because this is no stats and being killed summarily. Shouldn't have been doing it. Missed a stun, I think. I wasn't really looking at, didn't expect him to dive there. And giving up the blood plus. Now, might see another kill on the Thunderbringer. Pebbles initiating with his combo, Nymphora Pod's gonna finish him off. Phoebe again, just playing not quite playing carefully enough, being caught out by that Pebbles. Pebbles landing a good Stalagmite stun there to catch him out of position. Nymphora following up with that Volatile Pod, and that's another kill onto Phoebe. So Pebbles off to a great start already. I think Nymphora picked up that kill. Yes, Fogged did. So obviously not ideal, but nonetheless a good lane for them top. And it has to be said, I'm not sure that this dual lane's, as I've said already, working out really well. But again, Root, over to you. Anything you'd like to say?
I actually quite like this Nymphora Pebbles lineup because Nymphora can give Pebbles enough mana to just spam his abilities, which is something that he really has trouble with. And also the pod allows him to tower dive too, and his stun can give it time to go off in the enemy's face, which is really nice.
Yep, and one other thing you haven't highlighted there, Pebbles has really poor base armor and is really slow. Nymphora helps mitigate both those weaknesses. She can put her stun down to help him get into range of people, and obviously she can heal him up just to stop him having, you know, basically to reduce his vulnerability to harassment, and that is a big thing for him. But now Rampage going to charge on this bottom lane, aiming at Witchslayer. Witchslayer might well go down. He's going to get out there just in time. I don't think Rampage not getting off a bash there, but now putting an ultimate onto Engineer, but Torture missing that stun, and Thunderbringer going to TP top bottom here. Can't see the Torture getting out of this, and he doesn't. And now Phoebe and Engineer following up onto Rampage. Missed Keg, so Rampage might well get out of there. AMA Zaku's still on pretty much full health. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Forsaken Archer going down. Just caught the end of that there. Chronos and Plague Rider taking her out, so bit of a revival there by the Hellborn side. Coming back into it with a couple of kills. Bottom lane overextending, and a good TP gank by Phoebe, and middle lane finally doing what they need to be doing as a dual lane, really putting the pressure on the Forsaken Archer. She's a fragile solo, she doesn't have much HP. It's not easy to exploit because obviously she's got essentially just a good stun, and she can play really far back. She's got fairly decent range. I'm not entirely sure if it's 600 or not, but it's longish. And our Engineer actually going to eat this thingamajig. Rampage? Stampede, there we go, from Rampage, but Rampage going to cancel that. Engineer seeing the danger, backing off to his tower before Rampage can connect. I mean, Root, one of the big issues for Rampage, obviously, which you've reduced somewhat, is that Stampede is really easy to avoid, simply because if you see it coming, you just back off straight to a tower. I mean, was this weakness left in intentionally? I know, watch out, the debuff was removed, so people don't get quite the same warning, but it still has one. That is still one of the bigger features. Was this left in intentionally, or is it something you'd like to address in the future?
I'm not exactly sure. It's not really my area, but I think one of the reasons why the warning was also taken out was that there was a mod that allowed you to see really a lot more when it was on you. Like, it made your hero red, which was completely just bad. I mean, it allowed people the ability to basically nerf Rampage even more.
Sorry to interrupt you, Root, but gank in the middle lane there. Invisible Witchslayer coming in, and Forsaken Archer going to go straight down.
Bottom.
Rexy Chronos picking up that kill, and now, as you say, kill on the bottom lane as well. I think
Rampage goes going down bottom too.
I don't know, Root, I'm afraid I missed the kill bottom. Would you like to tell us a bit more about it?
Basically, Rampage was a bit. I didn't catch the very beginning, but Rampage was up a bit too far. Engineer dropped his ult, and that was basically it. He couldn't escape. He would have been slowed too much. And Witchslayer, I mean, not Witchslayer, but Torture was away pulling creeps.
Fair enough. Actually, we might see a 3v2 gank here. 3 heroes from the Hellborn coming up to this top lane. That would be Witchslayer, Plague Rider, and Thunderbringer. I think they might well catch him 4 out here. Fogged playing in the woods, trying to act him as a mobile ward. He's going to eat that Witchslayer stun pretty much for sure. I think Witchslayer not fast enough though, not going to manage it. And now Pebbles putting out that stun, throws Plague Rider up. Plague Rider going to go down there, double kill for Nymphora with that volatile pod.
Very nice.
Has gone disastrously wrong. Great play there by Fogged and whoever the hell is playing. There we go, K playing that Pebbles. But yeah, really horrible coordination there by the Hellborn side, just not quite managing to get him forward with that Witch Slayer. Slund going in a bit early. Plague Rider not using his slow, so Witch Slayer wasn't able to get into it, and Pebbles and Infor doing a great job there to combo that, and then Infor pick up the double kill with